Well, here's another mountain hike to Mount Williamson in the San Gabriel Mountains. It starts off at Islip Saddle on the Angeles Crest Highway. The highway is currently blocked off at this point because of some major slides that have not yet been cleared. We started off on what we thought was the trail to Mount Williamson, but couldn't understand why it kept going down. We finally decided we were actually on the wrong trail, so we started on back up to where we started from. And then back up at the parking lot, we discovered the right trail about 20 feet away from the one we started on, which actually went down into Devil's Canyon. This misstep actually added about a half a mile to our hike. But then we got started on the right trail on our way on up towards Mount Williamson. And it wasn't long before we could look back down and see where we started, down at the parking lot on off of Angeles Crest Highway. And of course, we also began to get some of those great mountain views. And then we met a fellow hiker from Northern California who had come down here to attend a wedding, and also a chance to do some bird watching. So we asked him if he wouldn't mind taking our picture. We don't get one with both of us in it very often. The trail crosses a number of rock slide areas, as you can see here, along with a lot of annoying buzzing gnats that you can see and hear if you listen carefully. And then some more mountain scenery along the way. And then not only mountains, but begin to see some desert off in the distance. In some ways, this hike was similar to the Mount Waterman hike that we recently made. But then again, in other ways, it was quite different. One difference being that the rate of climb was quite a bit more, especially as we began to get up towards the top. This made for some pretty slow going at times, especially for my 81-year-old bones. And then we reached a ridge line, getting on up towards the top. And here's our reward, this beautiful northern view looking out towards the Antelope Valley and the Mojave Desert. And one last push on towards the summit. And here Dale, at the top, takes a long, long look. A little bit of a hazy day, but at the same time, really great. Not only on the desert side, but also on the mountain side. There's another summit, said to be 30 feet higher, but which we decided to forego as the trip to get over there looked pretty rugged. And then after having a bite to eat, we began the very careful trip back down the hill. We took our time with a chance to enjoy the scenery, coming back down from the 8,200-foot summit. And of course there was lots and lots of scenery to enjoy along the way. And then back to the Angeles Crest Highway for the trip back home after a hike of about 5.5 miles with a 1,600-foot elevation gain.